YesRadio.com. Good morning to you, and thanks so much for being with us here today. Kim Dodds and Vicky Braun are with us this morning. The Indiana High Class of 1980 is getting ready for its 45th class reunion. Our visit this morning is presented by Marcus & Mack, voted the best law firm and the best personal injury lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. And Marcus and Mac bring us this conversation with Kim and Vicky. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you both with us here today. Kim, the class of 1980, you guys were saying you have actually had reunions practically every 5 years. COVID, of course, messes with that, but that's pretty impressive.
Yes, it is. It is. We've really tried to stay connected.
Wow. Not a lot of classes do that. What makes this class so special that you decided we're going to do this?
Well, I think we have a great class. We have a lot of people, I think, still around Indiana, and they keep their connections, with the people that have moved away. And like Kim had said previously, every 5 years is, I think, a great run. Hopefully we make it a lot more.
Sure. But when you stop and think about it, everybody's whatever reason, reunions just don't happen anymore as they used to. It used to be every class would go every 5 years, but that's very rare.
Yeah.
It is. It is. And I really think, with the group that we have here in town that kind of keeps up with it every 5 years and really puts a lot of effort and time into making everything nice and trying to contact as many people as possible, we're really hoping for a good turnout this year.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about turnout. The class of 1980 at Indiana High, how many were in it?
About 325.
I was going to say
somewhere
320.
right around there. Yeah.
So, and obviously those first few reunions are going to be more well attended than
And others along with them.
Getting together. So it's a perfect excuse to, we take a little bit of hiatus, in between the reunions, but we do meet frequently trying to keep the thing rolling and stay in contact.
And when you've been in the hallways with those kids for so many years, of course, the senior class, the junior class, the classes get mixed together, and students who are juniors are taking classes with students who are seniors, and there are marriages that happen between different classes, and so it's a natural to
Plus
get together.
siblings. We had several, like that you had a sibling in the class below you.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
Actually, quite a few
so that
siblings
was-
from 80 and 81 and 80.
Yeah.
Really?
Which was interesting. Right. Yeah.
Well, the fascinating thing to me about it is that you're still getting so many people who want to come to this, which, when you think back, all right, take me to the class of 1980. Every class seems to have some sort of character about it or some sort of notable thing about that class. What was so special about the class of 1980 that you all want to continue to meet each other?
So we were just a really, I think, fun group. We had great teachers, just a real strong connection. But our senior class prank was we went around and took for sale signs out of all the houses that were for sale in town and put them in front of the high school.
In front of the high school.
And we thought that was
So funny.
I know. So we were rebellious too.
Is anybody still in jail in the class of 1980? Is what we're wondering here today. But those sorts of memories, that's what reunions are all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So and I'm sure that there will be stories told at this one that you've heard. This is number 45 or
45.
yeah. This is number 45 that you've probably heard from the first group of 40 reunions that you've had before this, and they'll seem just as fresh and just as funny, and maybe there will be something new that comes up too.
Yes. I'm sure.
Right.
So let's reach out to those from the class of 1980 and invite them, because there are probably some that you've not seen at any reunions, right?
True.
Yeah.
And we want you here.
Yeah,
we want to
you.
reconnect. If you've been gone or your family's gone, we hope that you'll consider coming and reconnecting from all those, and we'll share memories and laughs and have a good time.
Yeah.
It's all very casual, the way we're meeting up through the weekend. And we do have some people that live here in Indiana that we'd really, you think you would see them, but, you don't. And so it's like, come on, come join us.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's give the details now. When is it?
It is the main reunion is Saturday, September 27th, and it does coincide with the high school homecoming.
Oh, okay.
So we usually last several reunions, quite a few. We've had them in the fall with the high school homecoming, and we go to the game Friday night. We are planning a tour of the high school before the game at 5 or 5:30. We're going to have Bob subs and sodas. Or Bob's Pizza. Bob's Pizza.
Yeah,
Bob's Pizza.
We grew up on Bob's Pizza.
You go to Indiana High,
That was our
especially back
staple,
then.
Right? It was close to the school. And have just beverages, water and sodas to meet before the game. We'll go to the game, and then they will acknowledge us at halftime.
We're all going to meet in the lower commons 5 p.m.
Yeah. Okay.
On Friday. That's Friday night.
And then you're going to get together after the game too.
Casually at
Casually.
Benjamin's. We're just going to go hang out.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to, get together afterwards and continue.
All right. Now, what happens on Saturday? This is the big day.
Saturday, we have planned out for Saturday morning. If you're hanging around town, we were planning on maybe just running to the Artist Hand, having some coffee, reminiscing. The main reunion is at the Jimmy Stewart Museum from 6 to 9. And we're going to be having a great meal from Romeo's, who is catering. And afterwards, everyone can walk down the street to Coney. Yeah, it sounds like a good time.
Yeah, well, that sounds like an Indiana weekend, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it is.
So we're excited about the Jimmy Stewart Museum
Yeah.
concept.
Have you ever held it there before?
No, we've never had it there. And I think a lot of people probably have never gone to it from our
It's
age.
interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
if you like, I mean, I'm an old movie buff, so I really like, of course, any Jimmy Stewart
Sure.
movies. But I've gone over 2 or 3 times. I'd say 2 or 3 times. It's interesting. I mean, I just like that nostalgic stuff. Yeah. Love it.
And you're right. It is something that probably the locals don't go to enough. We know that it's there, and we always say, well, one day I'm going to go there. But we never do, or some never do. So this would be a great opportunity.
I know.
to
So
go.
and it's $40 per person. And with that, you get admission to the museum. So we'll be able to see the exhibits. We're not sure if we're going to do a movie from our era in the studio and music from our time in high school. We'll have a playlist. Wally Stapleton's putting together a playlist for us.
Of course.
And we'll have a full dinner with hot sausage, meatballs, rolls, penny, garden salad, and we'll also have some appetizers, a shrimp platter, meat and cheeses, and then homemade desserts. One of our classmates, his wife, is baking cupcakes.
And my pizzelles are made.
And we're having cookies.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Wonderful.
it also includes complimentary drinks, wine, bottled beer, seltzers, sodas, and water. So all that for $40 is a pretty good deal this day and age.
That's a night. That's a night right there.
Yeah.
And the company of your classmates, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Renewing acquaintances and sharing some fun. Now, with reunions, and especially as we're reaching out, especially to people who've not been to one in a number of years or even at all, you'd like to know they're coming. So what should people do if they want to come?
So RSVP to Sandy Cervinsky Scott. Her email is Sandy, SANDY, Scott, SCOTTNJ, @gmail.com, or Becky Stapleton at, she has the Venmo.
Yeah.
But everybody knows Becky around town. Can contact me, Kim Dodds. My cell phone's 240-671-4676, or I'm sure Vicky.
Yes, my cell number is 724-840-6050.
So we're RSVPing to Sandy, but it can come through another classmate. And then Becky Stapleton, her maiden name Stossel, is our financial person. She's collecting the money. And you can Venmo her or send a check.
There you go. There you go. Class of 1980. There it is for you. The 45th reunion of the class of 80. You know, a lot of classes would not make this kind of an effort, but it shows how special a group you are and how connected you remain and how tight you were.
Yeah, we'd love to see you.
I know. Please come.
Yeah.
And
very
if you're a family member that you have children or sibling that aren't local, if you could pass this message along to any people from the class of 80.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Pretty good thing to do. Wonderful. Ladies, thanks so much for coming in to tell us about it. The class of 1980 getting together Friday and Saturday, September 26th and 27th, the big day on Saturday, 6 to 9 p.m., the reunion at the Jimmy Stewart Museum. And then you can tell stories all about Kim and Vicky. I'm sure there are a few.
No, they're all good stories.
Well, maybe with her. I don't know.
But I did want to ask you this. Teachers, do you ever have an opportunity to get teachers back? I know when it's been that long that there's odds are that most of those teachers have passed. But at the same time, do you ever get a chance? Maybe you see them at least once in a while.
So that did come up in discussion that we were trying to invite, particularly on Friday night, any teachers from when we were in high school or junior high, even for that matter. So if you're out there, any teachers from the Indiana high school, junior or senior high, to reach out to us because we'd like to invite you to join us for our reunion weekend.
Love to see them there because they'd have some stories too, I bet. Ladies, thanks so much.
Thank
Thank you.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. Fox News next. Josh with a brief look at news, and then the Brian Kilmeade Show.
Big pharmacy chains like Rite Aid are closing this month, but great service is just beginning. It's time to do what so many others have already done. Make the switch to Indy Drug Company, located on the campus of IRMC and accepting new customers. If you need prescriptions, or you want to transfer your current prescriptions to a team that truly treats you like family, choose the all-new Indy Drug Company.
Locally owned by John Pastoric, Indy Drug Company offers fast, friendly service with no long lines and no waiting. Tired of confusing pill boxes? Indy Drug Company offers free daily blister packs to make managing your medications simple. Need your meds delivered? Indy Drug Company has free delivery within 20 miles. With free parking at 841 Hospital Road, on the campus at IRMC, and personalized care, they treat you like family.
Why wait in long lines in the store or at a drive-thru and feeling like a number? Indy Drug Company will make certain you feel valued.
Make the switch today. Learn more at IndyDrugCo.com or call 724-675-8206. Or better yet, stop in and meet John and the friendly team at Indy Drug Company. Love your pharmacy. Choose Indy.
Wood Chevrolet Plumville, where a wood deal is a good deal. Selling and servicing the Indiana, Armstrong, and Jefferson counties. Wood Chevrolet Plumville has a full service station with ASE certified technicians and a full body shop with a new bake booth for those extra special paint jobs. So take that itty-bitty drive to Wood Chevrolet Plumville and allow us to prove to you with exceptional service and sales why people say a wood deal is a good deal. Visit us online at mywoodchevrolet.com.
Saddle up for a wild week at People's Natural Gas Field with your Altoona Curve. Tuesday, August 5th is Western Night. Dust off those boots and ride into the frontier. Then stick around for Country Western Fireworks presented by SRS Building Products, GAF, Ketro Kurtz Travel, Locker Candles, and Apparel. Wednesday is Awful Night, where everything's intentionally terrible, including this commercial. Wait, what? Thursday, August 7th, meet Penguins legend and Olympic gold medalist Darius Kasparaitis thanks to UPMC Health Plan. VIP meet and greet tickets available now. Friday, August 8th is Supervillain Night with a Harley Quinn bobblehead for the first 1,000 fans, and one lucky fan wins $1,000 cash, wins $1,000, all thanks to Nuts for You. No purchase necessary. Plus, comic book fireworks presented by Full Motion Technologies. Saturday, August 9th is Renaissance Fair Night with fireworks thanks to BreezeLine, Healthcare First FCU, Home Genius Exteriors, Pro Disposal, PA1 Call, plus a Scout Night sleepover. Sunday, August 10th, we roll back the clock with Bedrock Night and Yabba Dabba Do Fun. Tickets available at AltoonaCurve.com, calling 877-99-CURVE, or at the PNG Field box office. Homestands like this is why everybody loves Curve Baseball.
WCCS, Homer City, Indiana. This is the voice of Indiana County.
WCCS.
Paying their last respects. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. To Dieterul Islam, the off-duty New York City police officer Murdered while working security at a high-rise building in Manhattan Monday in a gunman shooting spree that left 3 others dead.
The 36-year-old leaves behind 2 young kids and a pregnant wife.
Fox's Alexis McAdams outside a mosque in the Bronx where funeral services for Officer Islam are underway. As for the gunman, Shane Tumura, who killed himself, he drove from Las Vegas to carry out the attack.
Police tell us he bought that murder weapon from his work supervisor in Nevada. So he worked out at a casino in the area. This was his manager. He gave this guy $1,400 just to get the rifle, we're told. That person is being questioned in Las Vegas, but is cooperating.
A school teacher is now an accused killer in Arkansas. James McGann arrested while getting a haircut, charged with murdering a married couple on a hiking trail in a state park Saturday.
The couple who recently moved to Arkansas was with their 2 daughters, just 7 and 9 years old. Those little girls are thankfully safe. They are with family members. While police have not said how they managed to escape, the family released a statement saying that Clinton and Kristen died heroes protecting their little girls.
That's Fox's Brooke Taylor. An appeals court's about to start a hearing challenging President Trump's authority to impose tariffs filed by some import businesses in 12 Democrat-led states. The day before new tariffs go into effect on imports from countries worldwide, South Korea has just worked out a trade deal with the U.S., lowering a threatened 25% tariff to 15%. Another inflation update just out shows another rise. The gauge the Federal Reserve monitors closest, called personal consumption expenditures,
rising for the second month, 2.6%. The expectation was 2.5% on an annual basis. Month over month, it came in as expected, hotter than May, 0.3%.
Fox Business Network's Lauren Simonetti, the day after the Fed did not cut interest rates like President Trump wanted. He posted on Truth Social, Chairman Jerome Powell's a total loser. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Emily Campagno, and I'm taking you inside the Idaho murders. In Moscow, Idaho, a small college town, one case so violent and heartbreaking shocked the nation. 4 students were found brutally murdered in their off-campus home, prompting a cross-country search for the cold-blooded killer. The Fox True Crime Podcast presents Inside the Idaho Murders, the evidence, the manhunt, the killer, and the victims.
Listen and follow now at foxtruecrime.com. Every weekday, it's your go-to source for staying informed and entertained. The Fox News Primetime Highlights Podcast, offering a curated selection of the most impactful moments of the Ingram Angle, Jesse Waters Primetime, Hannity, and Gutfeld. Listen and follow now so you never miss a moment of the action-packed highlights from these must-watch Fox News Channel shows. Go to foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. America's listening to Fox News.
This is Randy Degenkolb, Chairman of the Indiana County Republican Committee, and I invite you and yours to the annual Indiana County Republican Committee Summer Picnic. This year it's on Thursday, August 7th at Blue Spruce Park in Pavilion Number 1. It begins at 5:30 p.m. Tickets are $15 each, and this year we welcome Greg Rothman, Chairman of the Pennsylvania Republican Committee, as our guest speaker. Please RSVP to indianacountygop@gmail.com by this Thursday, July 31st. We look forward to having you and yours relaxed evening of food and fun and friends and just a little bit of political dialogue. RSVP to indianacountygop@gmail.com by this Thursday, July 31st for our picnic on August 7th. Thank you.
Paid for by the Indiana County Republican Committee.
Hi, I'm Kristen Chenoweth. When many servicemen and women return home, they carry with them the invisible wounds of war. But thanks to the life-saving power of the human-animal bond, professionally trained service dogs can help. If you're a veteran or know a veteran struggling with post-traumatic stress or traumatic brain injury, please go to AmericanHumane.org to learn about their Pups for Patriots program, which provides specially trained service dogs free of charge to veterans in need. Let's help our veterans heal from the invisible wounds of war.
The spectacular Brian Kilmeade Show will begin in 1 minute.
Saddle up for a wild week at People's Natural Gas Field with your Altoona Curve. Tuesday, August 5th is Western Night. Dust off those boots and ride into the frontier. Then stick around for Country Western Fireworks presented by SRS Building Products, GAF, Ketro Kurtz Travel, Locker Candles, and Apparel. Wednesday is Awful Night, where everything's intentionally terrible, including this commercial. Wait, what? Thursday, August 7th, meet Penguins legend and Olympic gold medalist Darius Kasparaitis thanks to UPMC Health Plan. VIP meet and greet tickets available now. Friday, August 8th is Supervillain Night with a Harley Quinn bobblehead for the first 1,000 fans, and one lucky fan wins $1,000 cash, wins $1,000, all thanks to Nuts for You. No purchase necessary. Plus, comic book fireworks presented by Full Motion Technology. Saturday, August 9th is Renaissance Fair Night with fireworks thanks to Breezeline, Healthcare First FCU, Home Genius Exteriors, Pro Disposal, PA1 Call, plus a Scout Night sleepover. Sunday, August 10th, we roll back the clock with Bedrock Night and Yabba Dabba Do Fun. Tickets available at AltoonaCurve.com, calling 877-99-CURVE, or at the PNG Field box office. Homestands like this is why everybody loves Curve Baseball.
101.1 at AM 1160 WCCS and at WCCSradio.com.
From high atop Fox News headquarters in New York City, the most approachable radio host in America. It's Brian Kilmeade.
Hi, everyone. So glad you're there. It's the Brian Kilmeade Show coming your way on this Thursday. We have Secretary of State Marco Rubio in about 20 minutes, so don't move. We'll bring back some of it if you have to leave this hour a little bit later in the day. Meanwhile, we're watching a few things. There's going to be a space launch today at Merritt Island in Florida. We're going to try to get to the moon, and now Sean Duffy's job at NASA is to make that happen, and that's his focus. The president will sign an executive order today in the Roosevelt Room relating to that, and there'll be a State Department briefing. Just some of the things happening today, and believe it or not, President Biden delivers remarks at the National Bar Association Gala. I think he's getting an award. I have no idea why, but let's get to the big three.
Number 3.
I think, though, she got a little bit of a shock when she looked at some of those internal polling numbers and saw that, despite having run for president, there was no overwhelming support for her in running for the governor's office in California. And going forward, I must say, you don't hear a lot of people on the ground saying, oh, yeah, we want her to come right back.
True. And she's done nothing with all the catastrophes happening in California. She has not asserted herself at all. Kamala Harris shocks many by declaring she's not running for California governor, queuing up a 2028 presidential run. Is she really the left's best hope, or a nightmare as we look at the rest of the field as the messaging for the Democrats continues to be all over the place?
Number 2.
To be very clear, as I have been over the course of this campaign, I am not defunding the police. I am not running to defund the police.
You just said it over and over again for 5 years. Biggest test today. Marxist mayor, Democratic primary winner Zoran Mamdani rushes back from Uganda to explain that he's not really against the police after the Midtown massacre. Are we to believe him then or now? Dems stay silent as we learn more details of motive and the victims.
Number 1.
President Trump has raised the natural leverage of the U.S. market to really obtain some significant concessions from the Koreans. I mean, this is exactly the sweet spot that President Trump is hitting with trade partner after trade partner.
Trade Representative Jamieson Greer weighing in on another deal done. It's a stunner. Trump announcing a trade deal with South Korea as India talks heat up. And by the way, he is going after India for waiting this long to do a deal, while going after India for buying all that low-cost oil from Russia. Inflation remains low. Growth is up. Sadly, interest rates don't move. It looks like the president's detractors are really tired of his winning to the point where they're making stuff up. So there's some things going on with the economy that I think is important to point out. 3% growth is fantastic. People say, well, we had to buy, industry had to buy a whole bunch of things before tariffs kicked in. Well, why was it so low last quarter? They said the same thing. Deregulation should put about $150 billion to $400 billion into our coffers by the end of the year. We have the private sector now having added 104,000 jobs. I would love to see the private sector as well as government hires when the Biden administration was there, because they kept growing government. And by the way, wages jumped 4.4%. If you look at what inflation's doing, there's a lot of reasons to be happy. So this is where we're at right now. The economy looks good, but there are people out there looking to run it down. Like, for example, Chuck Schumer, cut 12.
And while the Trump administration will try to wave rosy headlines about the Q2 number, today's GDP number is in fact a mirage because some ominous numbers lurk under the hood.
Dun, 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 dun. Not true. Mark Halpern says there is some uncertainty in the economy. He plays it more up the middle. They are upset about the interest rates. It really makes no sense to the experts. And there were two Fed officers who split from Powell and just said, I'm for rate. We have to lower the rates. Powell's like, no, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer on tariffs. Well, let me see. The tariffs went in place in April. We're upon 1 day away from August. What are you waiting for? Here's Mark Halpern, cut 14.
This is about as confused an economy as we've seen. There's so many cross currents, right? The tariffs are a big piece, but there's questions about supply chains, upcoming back to school, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, consumer behavior. There's a lot of uncertainty. Number two, the irony, of course, of the White House message today is if the economy is growing quickly, you don't want to cut interest rates, at least under classic economics, right? You wouldn't want to stimulate an overstimulated economy.
Right. Some cross currents, but I mean, it's not like it's at 5. It goes from 2.2 to 5. I mean, it's going to 2.2 to 3. So what I think the one thing people tell you is if inflation's out of control, you got to slow down the economy and the spending. So what you do is you raise interest rates. So people stop getting the house. They don't move. They don't do any addition. They don't put too much money into the system. Now we're showing that inflation's not going to be an issue. You should probably do it. So yesterday, another trade deal came in. I think India could come in today, and I'll tell you why. But first, South Korea. The president announced on Truth Social yesterday, I'm pleased to announce the United States has agreed to a full and complete trade deal with South Korea. The deal is that South Korea will give the U.S. $350 billion for investments owned and controlled by the United States. Now, we have like $600 billion in there from Japan, $700 billion from the EU. Investments, which means you're going to benefit too. Selected by itself, that's a good deal. South Korea will purchase $100 billion worth of LNG, which we're great at. Other energy products further. By the way, that's good for their security. They can count on us. South Korea has agreed to invest a large sum of money. The sum will be announced within the next 2 weeks when the president comes here to the White House in a bilateral meeting. I'd also like to congratulate the new president on his electoral success. Has also agreed that South Korea will be completely open trade with the United States. They'll accept American products, including cars and trucks and agriculture. We have agreed to a tariff for South Korea of 15%. So, and we have 0. So this is pretty unbelievable what he's been pulling off. He's using the power of the economy, our consumers, our market, and he's enticing the rest of the world. And they're saying, no longer going to have a free reign here. The other thing I want to talk about, much more serious, on Monday, we watched this gunman get out of his car, double park his BMW. He had driven 30 hours from Las Vegas, and he went in, opened up fire at 345 Park Avenue, where some of the most prestigious, lucrative companies in the world are housed, including the National Football League. The gunman clearly wanted to go after the NFL. Thankfully, he went in the wrong elevator. Not good for people on the 43rd floor who unfortunately were gunned down because he happened to get off there randomly. So when Zohran Mamdani, who won the Democratic primary, is on he was in Uganda at the time. It's not his fault. He was at a wedding, kind of odd timing if you want to be mayor. But Mamdani got off the plane and knew he had to quickly explain his record when it comes to law enforcement. The very group that was first on the scene, he wants to disband, and he vilified. The police, he has pretty much said, defund the police in multiple ways, and I'll read those postings shortly. But now he's got to convince everyone he didn't mean it then. I know you don't buy it. And why I'm bringing up a mayor's race in New York City is because this is the direction of the party, certainly the loudest, that's got a mayoral candidate in Minneapolis, Senate candidate in Michigan. One was running and lost in Arizona. And without the established Democrats speaking up and not endorsing him, or endorsing him, just staying on the sideline. Chuck Schumer, Keem Jeffries, Governor Hochul. No one's endorsing him. No one's not endorsing him except for AOC. He's my guy. He had to quickly say, I'm not for defunding the police. Cut 19.
To be very clear, as I have been over the course of this campaign, I am not defunding the police. I am not running to defund the police. The tweet that you refer to is a tweet that is out of step with the way in which I not only view police officers, the immense work that they do in this city, but also the seriousness with which we need to treat that work and the difficulties that come with that work.
Okay. The problem is he didn't just say, I'm not, yesterday he said, I'm not running to defund the police. Okay. But in 2020, he says, we don't need an investigation to know the NYPD is a racist, anti-queer, major threat to public safety. Same year, we need to elect a socialist city council to defund the NYPD. Same year, there's no negotiating with institutions that's wicked and corrupt. That's the police. Now, he wasn't even an assemblyman yet, so you could easily say, I was angry and emotional, and the George Floyd riots were taking place. Well, you would think that people would be pressing him like his opponents to further define how he feels, but maybe they just know how he feels, because on Facebook 2025, he shared an article about a police shooting and wrote, "This is why we need to defund the police and invest in alternatives." April of 2025. When you say old tweets, how old? April? I mean, what has changed? And if you were going to change, couldn't you have told us? Instagram video, May of 2025. He speaks to a group of young people about police brutality and the need for reform. Okay? So that's 3 months, but he's changed a lot. May of 2025, he discussed his time as a housing counselor, noting how he observed police being used to evict people from their homes and says they have no reason doing that. June of 2025. The NYPD's budget is bloated and ineffective. We need to invest in community-based solutions to public safety. When did this guy change? Yesterday? June. The police are not the solution to our public safety problems. We need to address the root causes of crime. And lastly, July, I'm not running to defund the police. What are you to believe? Cut 20.
My statements in 2020 were ones made amidst a frustration that many New Yorkers held at the murder of George Floyd and the inability to deliver on what Eric Adams, of all people, described as the right for all of us to be able to enjoy safety and justice, that we need not choose between the two.
Okay. And lastly, I'll play this. Elise Stefanik wants to be the next governor of New York. If anybody can do it, she can do it. She's got confidence, understands issues, will tear up Hochul if they ever debate. She was in studio yesterday with Larry Kudlow. And this is the subject I bring up. I don't want people to think I'm just telling you a New York story. It really is big, or else I wouldn't bring it up. Elise Stefanik, who is a national figure right now in a small district in New York City, was just there over the weekend. A beautiful area, Lake Champlain, Fort Ticonderoga, a whole area. It's a beautiful area, Lake George. Here's what she said on Larry Kudlow, and this is so important. Cut 28.
You have Kathy Hochul, who is the leader of the New York Democrat Party. You have Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Democrat Party in the Senate from New York, eligible to vote in the New York mayoral race, hasn't said who he voted for in that primary. And you have Hakeem Jeffries, the leader of the New York Democrat Party in the House, in the minority. He also hasn't said who he voted in that mayoral primary. And reporters, where they chase Republicans down and ask who you voted for in primary, they haven't asked that question. Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries need to answer, who did they vote for in the Democrat primary for mayor? I want to know, was it Mamdani, or who was it if it was not him? And then what is their position? They have refused to condemn him. They own his position.
Yes, and by the way, there's no way they voted for Mamdani. They would have just said, I voted for him. But they won't. In fact, what's his name, met with him, Hakeem Jeffries, and said, I guess we'll meet again. Really? 2 Democrats, one that just won the primary handily, and you can't figure out if you're going to vote for him yet? That's called posturing. We'll take a short time out, come back with your calls. In about 10 minutes, it's going to be great. We're going to talk to the National Security Advisor, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, for our radio show. Don't move.
Newsmakers and newsbreakers. Hear it first on the Brian Kilmeade Show.
Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and uncertainty and are only suitable for accredited investors. Actual results may vary.
President Trump says drill, baby, drill. And he's declared a national energy emergency and is making the U.S. oil industry a priority with support for more active drilling and support for our hardworking oil and gas industry. If you are an SEC accredited investor and qualified to make at least a $100,000 investment, you can deduct nearly 100% of your investment for this tax year. Don't miss out on this limited time opportunity to create potential income for up to 20 or more years to come. Call 800-544-1221 now and connect directly to Encore Energy. Encore is a major investor and experienced horizontal well operator in its core area of operations. Call Encore Energy now at 800-544-1221 and find out if your investment will be tax deductible for 2025 with the potential for lucrative cash flow for years to come. Call 800-544-1221. That's 800-544-1221.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who have made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This is Boomer Esiason with the Sports Minute, sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store at metalsupermarkets.com. The NFL officially returns tonight as the Chargers play the Lions in the Pro Football Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. Kudos to NBC Sports for inviting new Hall of Famer Brent Musburger to join Mike Tirico and my buddy Chris Collinsworth for the second half. It will add a little spice to an otherwise boring game, I'm sure. I'm Boomer Esiason.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
We've been angry.
We've been hurt.
We've been lonely.
We've been pressured. We've been ashamed.
We've been miserable. We've been hopeless.
We've been lost.
We've been labeled.
We've been invisible. We've been controlled.
We've been judged. If you're one of the more than 26 million teens living in the U.S. today, chances are you'll go through your share of tough times. Let's face it, being a teen isn't easy. We know because we've been there. We've been accepted.
We've been supported.
We've been confident.
We've been brave. Check out reachout.com to hear teens share their own stories on how they've made it through tough times. You might even find ways to deal with all you're dealing with. Because we've been there, we can help each other.
We've been inspired.
We've been determined.
We've been acknowledged.
We've been given a chance.
We've been there.
We've been there.
We can help us.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Inspire USA Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
This is the voice of Indiana County. 101.1 FM and AM 1160. WCCS.
Radio that makes you think. This is the Brian Kilmeade Show.
He's basically closed the chapter on 2026. Doesn't foreclose a chapter of 2028 or in the future beyond that. I think in this case, she's going to reboot, recharge. You haven't heard the end of Kamala Harris. It's just not for 2026. It's really kind of one-dimensional. Rahm Emanuel is clearly running for president. To his credit, he basically says it. Everybody else couches it. What else would he be doing? Well, after becoming ambassador to Japan, he was mayor of Chicago. He wanted everyone to forget his reign, but he was more reasonable than anybody we've seen there now, sort of like Brandon Johnson and Lori Lightfoot. But now he says about her, Kamala Harris, the fact that she's not running for governor doesn't mean she's done. But he's trying to say it's not like she's too talented to step aside forever. It's when Barack Obama lost as a state senator, if he decided I'm done with my career, a lot of people would be like, are you kidding? You're just getting started. You only lost one race. But there is not a big clamor for Kamala Harris. Terrible vice president, really lazy. She had a great opportunity because Joe Biden was asleep at the switch. And keep in mind, Joe Biden, nobody even admits that she lost. She spent over $1 billion. People want to say it was too short of a run. She didn't have to go through any of the primary process. That's all to her advantage. Listen to her. Remember, Joe Biden goes and does The View. And this is what he says the reason why Kamala Harris lost. Cut 31.
Why do you think the vice president lost, and were you surprised?
I wasn't surprised, not because I didn't think the vice president was the most qualified person to be president. I wasn't surprised because they went the route of the sexist route, the whole route. I mean, this is a woman, she's this, she's that. I mean, it really, I've never seen quite as successful and a consistent campaign undercutting the notion that a woman couldn't lead the country and a woman of mixed race.
You crazy. A woman can't lead the country. Who brought that up? It just so happens two ran and both lost. You pick the right one, they'll win. She's not the right one, genius. Congressman James Comer, cut 33.
There's no guarantee Kamala Harris would have even won that governor's race. If you look at how she got to be the Democrat nominee, she was appointed in a smoke-filled room. There's no guarantee she ever would have emerged from the primary, even if they had had an abbreviated primary. There's no guarantee she would have even beaten Gavin Newsom or Josh Shapiro or any other leading Democrats.
But no, I think she's going to run, though. I mean, I think if Comer thinks she's done, she's not. She'll be the last one to realize it. Remember, she had no campaign, but she came out, and this will be her third time running. So she had no campaign message. She had an opening speech, and then she didn't go to homework on any of the issues. So I think she's definitely running for president. And I think she looks at the governor's race as a step back. And here's why. She'd actually have to do work if she did that. It is hard to recover for a state to recover with taxes so high. They are buried right now in red ink. They have a huge illegal immigration problem, and there's confrontation with the federal government. She's going to have to deal with that, and it will be an opportunity for a good leader, but to her, it is just a challenge. And for her, I think she understands, too, for the presidency, she's hoping